What is up, guys? It's Kyle with Never Hedge here to bring you another Google Earth view of this week's Travelers Championship. We have the TPC River Highlands. It's in Cromwell, Connecticut, beautifully located on the Connecticut River, which you can see. The course is a shorter course. It's only 6,841 yards. It is a peak dye design. It's going to be a par 70. It has bent grass mixed with poana. The course record is held by Jim Furyk. He shot a 58 here in 2016, really dominated this course, which a lot of guys will do this week. We're going to see real low numbers. Some of the past winners have been DJ, Ches Reavie, Bubba Watson, who's won here 3 times, Jordan Spieth, Russell Knox, Streelman. So we see a mix of guys, some long, some short. It is a shorter course, so the Bombers will take advantage. Someone like Bryson, we'll see probably try to dominate this course, overpower it. But the shorter hitters also will be able to get theirs. And we'll get right into the course. Here's the first hole. We go to their scorecard. According to the scorecard, it is a 434-yard par 4. Not a very long hole. We got some trouble here with the bunkers up to the green. Should be a very birdieable first hole. Move on to the second hole, which is a very, very short par 4 as well. This is only 341 yards. Another par 4. Not much trouble here. A little bit over to the left. This is why Bubba, with his shape shot approach, has a lot of success here. Nothing much going on. First 2 holes should be a bunch of guys will have birdies on the first couple. Go to the third hole, which is a 431 par 4. Similar to the first hole. Nothing much. Tree lined. I'll be all over these houses. I'd be in that neighborhood right there. But it's just a tree-lined green, so you got to be careful there. You don't want to end up in the trees. I could see someone like Phil, who tends to play well here, gets himself out of a lot of trouble with things like that. But it's just something to be aware of. Takes us over to the fourth hole, headed back. The fourth hole is a 481-yard par 4. As you can see, it bends to the right. Really, a guy like Bubba who shapes his shots will be able to take advantage. There's not much danger on the fourth hole. Very birdieable. Again, that takes us to the fifth hole, which the fifth hole is a par 3. It is 223 yards. You're going to have to hit a nice iron here. It is decent length for a par 3. I know these guys tend to have zero trouble with that. Another beautiful hole. Let's go to the sixth hole. As you could hear my dog barking. The sixth hole is your first par 5. It is 574 yards. Bombers will be able to bomb it way out there without much trouble early. As you can see, it bends to the right again with tons of bunkers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bunkers lining the way. But it should be really, they're going to bomb it out there and be able to hit an iron second shot in. So shouldn't cause many of the pros problems. Some of the shorter hitters will lay up and play it that way, play it a little safer. But again, another scoring hole. That brings us to the seventh hole. The seventh hole here is a 443-yard par 4. Not much going on with the seventh. As you can see, it's pretty wide open. You got the 3 bunkers on the right and the bunkers lining the green. Besides that, pretty easy hole. The eighth hole is going to be another par 3. It's 202 yards. And on the 8th hole, you actually do have a water hazard you got to worry about. So if we zoom in here, you can see the little man-made lake. That will give guys trouble. There's also 2 bunkers, which you'd much rather be in than in the middle of the freaking pond. But yeah, the pond alone is a little intimidating. So some guys you'll see get a little wet this weekend. That brings us to the 9th. The 9th is a 406-yard par 4. It again bends to the right. That's a trend here at this course. We have the massive bunkers with the Pete Dye design. The neighborhood to the right. You can see some tennis courts and a nice pool over here. I did hear that many of these houses are going to let the players rent them, so their families will be able to stay and watch from the course this week. You go to the 10th hole, starting the back 9. 10th hole is heavily wooded, narrower fairway. See some guys get in trouble on the 10th. It is 462-yard par 4. The 11th, couldn't find this hole when I was mapping out the course. The 11th has an elevated tee box. You're hitting, it's a very, very short. It's a 158-yard par 3. Guys will be hitting pitching wedge from that. And it plays even shorter. Like I said, it's got the elevated tee box. This is going to be a scoring hole. I wonder if we'll see some hole-in-ones. We potentially will. I'm assuming we will. That's a good bet this week is the hole-in-one prop. 12th hole, par 4, 411 yards. You got some bunkers to your right. I think most players will actually be able to hit it past that, kind of get out of that trouble, hit a short iron in, and avoid these bunkers as well. Pete Dye does love his bunkers. Go to the 13th, which is a par 5, 523 yards. Again, bunker lined. We do have another water hazard. This hole is beautifully on the Connecticut River completely. Don't have to worry about hitting it in there, though. But we do have the water here right before the hole. Depending on where the pin placement is, this can be a very tricky hole. Again, we're going to see guys get wet there. We go to the 14th, and this is where the course really gets beautiful. These are the 4 final holes are the featured holes of the course. So I will go over to the TPC River Highlands website itself, and they say the par 4, 296 yards, is one of the most exciting holes on the PGA Tour. The 296-yard par 4 hole, I apologize, that's 15. Let's go back to 14. Got a little ahead of myself. So 14 is going to be 421 yards. It bends to the left this time. Shot shapers will take advantage. But let's head over to the featured holes because that's what everyone wants to see anyways. We will zoom in. So the 15th, like I said, par 4, only 296 yards, shorter hole. It's one of the most exciting tours on the holes on the PGA. Forces players to make good decisions. There's water to the left and sand to the right. Anywhere from a 2 to 6 can be recorded on a player's scorecard. I think we'll be seeing more 2s than 6s. Guys tend to really take advantage of this course, and unlike me and you, they are not intimidated by this water. The 16th hole is a very short par 3, 171 yards. It's very scenic. It has water all to the right here. It requires a well-struck mid-iron to clear the force over the water. I don't think that we're going to see mid-irons these days. Guys are hitting pitching wedge to hit 170 yards, so it's pretty crazy. But the green is very narrow and has a giant slope. So it will cause guys trouble, especially where the pin location is. Very dependent on that. So we go to the 17th hole, which is a par 4, 433 yards. As you can see, it bends along the water. It's a dogleg right. It makes it very difficult. Guys can try to cut across. It's not recommended, but the crowds will be huge on this hole because they know it could be a breaking point in the tournament. And the crowd here does get pretty rowdy. Connecticut, Cromwell could be a rowdy place. Obviously, won't get too out of control. It's golf, so. And then the 18th hole, an absolute perfect finishing hole that allows players to make birdie if they play this par 4 well. It's 444 yards. A good drive leaves a mid to short iron approach to the green, encompassing by throng of spectators. So the course is beautiful. The clubhouse is beautiful. I wish I could get out there. I'm stuck here in Virginia. Not going to be able to make it to the Travelers this year. It's always an exciting week because it's my home state. I think we're going to see really low scores, and there's going to be a lot of good betting opportunities like that hole-in-one prop. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Thanks.